Okay, this is gonna be an unusual one for you folks. You know me as an ESO creator, I suppose, and I figured this could be a Daily Writ Ramble today. But truth is, today we're not gonna talk about anything ESO related. Maybe a little bit, but the main focus will be something different. So if you have subscribed to this channel or have clicked on this video to see ESO content, then I can only tell you that you will get some survey collecting in the background from me. But today is going to be a different topic. Today is going to be a hard topic. Today is going to be a video where you will see me very, very vulnerable. And if that's not something for you, then I completely understand that you will click off this video today. We are tackling a lot of very hard topics today. We're talking about love, we're talking about loneliness, we're talking about mental health and life in general. Excuse me. And yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I created a video. It was a Daily Writ Ramble, which was called something Agoraphobia, escapism and gaming or something like this. And understandably not too many people have seen it. There's like 500 views on it, because obviously it's a completely different subject from my usual content I do, and it's of course only people will watch this that are somewhat interested in this kind of stuff to begin with. And I know that YouTube is not too excuse me, not too good in pushing this sort of content out to other people, because it would mix up my niche and stuff, and maybe this video is not really a good idea for my channel to begin with. But there are a few reasons I want to talk about the things I want to talk about today, and one is that I want to show you that with all the jokes and all this fun we are having with the videos and the lamer you're getting, there's still just a person behind this. Second, I know that all of us go through rough patches in life, and I want you guys to see that I'm just like you in that regard. I'm just struggling with a lot of things in life, actually for most of my life, in fact. And those are the two main reasons I wanted to talk to you about this. And to get back to what I started with, when I talked about agoraphobia and escapism and stuff like this, if you have not seen this video and are interested in listening into this one right now, long story short, I have an anxiety disorder which is called agoraphobia, which in short just means that I'm basically afraid of going outside. For someone who has never experienced any anxiety, this is very hard to grasp. And I get that, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to be afraid to go outside. But that's the thing with fear and anxiety is, or emotions in general, is that they don't make sense. They cannot be rationalized. I mean, sometimes you get an understanding of why you feel how you feel, and often it makes sense. So if somebody dies that you love, you are sad, that makes sense, quote unquote. Going outside and being afraid of that, getting sweaty hands, getting heartbeats, getting nauseous, is not really understandable. Therapists would call it an inadequate emotional reaction. I've learned that in my therapy. And the thing is, I'm mentioning this is because in this video I've said that I have a wonderful girlfriend that helped me through all of this stuff. And unfortunately, 4 weeks ago on November 11th, said girlfriend has split up from me. And the time since has been very hard to describe. Let's put it that way. The weirdest thing happened actually after that. The thing that happened was that I had a glow up, actually. I had not anticipated this to be the case, but the fact is that after that split up, I have made insane progress towards my fight with agoraphobia. I don't want to call it fight, because at some point you will have to accept that the anxiety is with you at all times and you have to work with it. This is a realization I had taken a long time to come to. But anyway, I had so much progress in that regard. I went grocery shopping for like first time ever in 2 years, which is insane. And for me at least, I know for people who don't suffer from this kind of stuff, this is like, what the hell is this guy talking about, man? Oh, sorry. And I went to the psychiatrist myself. This is also something I haven't done in years. Usually somebody drove me there by car. And this time I went there myself with the tram, whatever you call it in the USA. And this was also the first time that I went with the tram for more than 3 or 4 stations in years. So we have this glow up, we have this glow up that I'm doing so much better with all of these things. And I have such a hard time accepting that it is happening right after one of the worst days of my life has happened. And it's very hard for me to understand it, because the thing is, I would have wished for this to be an achievement I would have made with her together. And now I'm making all this progress. I went even to the one coffee place I've been checking out that I wanted to go with her. And I was there alone. And as a matter of fact, the whole coffee was empty as well. It was like Saturday or Sunday, I think. It was like second advent, something. And I figured, hey, I can socialize a little bit with like foreign people that I don't know. Maybe I get to make new acquaintances or friends. And it was completely empty. And this was like one of the many situations I've been facing in the past few weeks that made me realize how incredibly lonely I am. And this is something, talking about it makes me kind of well up a little bit. And it's fine, I've become so great at tackling my own emotions with the years and years of therapy I have been through. And the loneliness is something a lot of you, probably all of you, have experienced. And loneliness is one of the worst feelings a person can have. And that's rooted obviously because humans are social beings, and it's not a surprise that isolation is used as a torture method. And you can only really understand how loneliness feels when you have experienced it yourself. Truth be told, this is basically true for like any mental health issue as well. So if you have never been depressed, you can never really understand what depression means. If you have never experienced anxiety as an inadequate emotional response, then you will not understand why some people want to throw up when they enter a bus. Those people themselves don't even understand it from time to time. I know I didn't understand it. And this loneliness is killing me right now. It's really killing me right now because I have not been catering too much with social life aside from this relationship, and this is on me obviously, but it also had to do with, well, the agoraphobia to begin with. And this person I had in my life, we basically lived together for almost 3 years. We've been through so much. We've been figuring stuff out for years. We had fights, but they were always civilized. We communicated well. We talked about our emotions and we made it work. We made it work because a good relationship is not easy. A good relationship is hard. And it was worth it, you know, it was worth it to go through this. And it's gone now. It's gone. You can see in the video right now, I'm very mad at this survey that it doesn't reset to Columbine. And it's something that I did not see coming. It's something that, you know, sometimes when you have a relationship and you see that it's not going well, you see that, well, there's an end in sight. And I did not see that one, and she didn't either, because you see the thing is, it's not so much about the emotions we have for each other, but the circumstances of her life that make it impossible for her to have this relationship right now. And this makes this whole thing, this whole endeavor so much harder, because it would be so much easier if she would just be an asshole, toxic person that I can be happy to be rid of, but that's not the case. In fact, it's quite the opposite. And for her, it's the same. On next Tuesday, we will meet up to have a conversation. I'm very anxious about this because was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday we had the first talk, more like texting, in 4 weeks. And it was clear that there was still emotions between us. I mean, evidently, those emotions just don't go away after 4 weeks. But she also said that she's happier without the relationship, and of course, that made my heart sink. And the thing is, even if we would come back together right now, then there would still be so much between us because of that situation. And it's a very complex, it's a very complicated very complicated situation that has no easy answer. And I guess that's what I want to say also to you guys, is that oftentimes you feel like emotions are easy because you feel like, okay, you either love or hate someone, but it's obviously not that binary. You know, it's not that binary, it's not either love or hate. There's so many things in between. And when I talked to a friend of mine, she said, well, sometimes two people love each other but can still not be together. And that hurt because it's true. It hurt because it's very true. I don't really understand the intentions behind my ex-girlfriend. Supposedly I will learn more about that on Tuesday, but the gist of it is, or was, as far as I have understood it so far, is that she needs to figure out who she is outside of a relationship. And yeah, it kind of sucks for me, I guess. And so here I am making this huge progress with Agoraphobia, but everything feels so hollow. I made this progress. I went to the tram. I was even like thrilled. I was euphoric after that, because it is like when you go drive a roller coaster or something like this. You know, you have this anxiety of when you go up, and when you go down, all of this anxiety releases and all the endorphins get released in your brain. And it's kind of like that, actually, a little bit with anxiety, because when you did something and you overcame the fear, then you have this little thrill. And this is actually a really cool feeling. But right now, all of these experiences feel so... What am I doing this for? I mean, yeah, of course, for me, but I can only be happy when I'm not lonely in life. And this is true for every human being. And for those that say, nah, not for me, I'm a loner and stuff, then you're lying to yourself. And I say this very clearly, you're lying to yourself. And it's fine, I get it. Because I've been there too, like 10 years ago or something, maybe a little less than that. And so you don't need to be like concerned about me that I'm like doing something rash or radical. I'm not gonna do anything to me, so you don't have to worry about that. I was always very fortunate about the fact that I was not suffering from thoughts like this. But I still wanted to talk about this stuff to you because at the end of the day, I always wanted to be a person here. And I wanted to be someone you can relate to. I wanted to be with you and not... I don't know how to say it. It's very hard to put into words. But like I wanted to be at eyes height, I suppose. I didn't want to be like this. For me, it's sometimes when I watch any content creators, they seem so far off, so professional, and you basically have no idea about them. And I suppose it's fine, but I don't really want to be this. I mean, I made a video about the non-binary Tenlorian thing, and I put myself out there, and of course a lot of dislikes came on this video, but it's okay. It's okay, because I believe that if we really try, we as humans, we will find a lot more things that will put us together than the things that divide us. And this is also one of the reasons I'm making this video, because at the end of the day, all of you and me, of course, and every person in life, at the core, we all want the same. And you really have to think about that for a minute from time to time, because all human beings have one thing, not just one, but a few things in common, and this is the basic needs that you have. You have the need for security. You have the need for recreation. You have the need for lust, for desire. You want your family and your friends to be safe. You want to be appreciated. You want the things that you do in life to matter. And whether or not you think trans people are, I don't know what you think about trans people, that's not the point. I hope you get what I'm saying is that even when we have different opinions about things, that if we truly look, then we will see that you and I, we are not so different. We are not so different, we just have different ways to deal with it and to cope with things that are not going as we would like them to go. And for me right now, I'm a little lost. I'm really lost right now because I'm really trying to make this YouTube thing work. I'm really trying to make my mental health work. And I'm very proud of myself on how I'm dealing with this. I'm proud of how I am able to allow these emotions, and this is not something I would have been able to a few years ago. And if you're still someone who likes to suppress their emotions, I can tell you one thing that I never thought would be true, but it is a lot easier to live through sadness, anger, and all of those nasty feelings, and even contrary feelings like love and hate, that you can feel those things at the same time. It's really hard to accept that, but this is how emotions work. And what I can tell you is, it is way easier to let these feelings, to allow these feelings, than to suppress them and get depressed. And this is a realization I had like just a few weeks ago, actually, because it was the first time I was really, really, really sad. And it was such a thing for me that I was like, man, I've been suppressing all these emotions for years. For so long, I have been afraid of these feelings, and then they come and this is it? Really? You're telling me this is it? I mean, of course, they were not pleasant, but I can tell you, being depressed is a lot harder to go with than having emotions at all. And it doesn't matter what kind of emotions that are. So this is what I'd like to give to you if you feel like you're suppressing your emotions. Trust me, it's easier. It's easier to do it this way, because this way you can heal. You cannot heal when you don't treat the wound. And treating the wound in this case is allowing your emotions. You will feel like you will be judging yourself for the emotions you have. And I have been in the past a lot. And sometimes you feel like you have an emotion that is not really combinable with another emotion. Like I just said, for example, love and hate, or anger and caring, or something like this. And you feel like, I have to decide for one of these emotions. But no, you don't. You don't. It's okay to feel both of these, or even more than just the two. For instance, with my ex-girlfriend, I know I love her, but I'm also angry from time to time. I'm angry that she did this to me, despite the fact that I understand it. I'm not mad at her in that regard. I know she doesn't want to hurt me, and that it's not easy for her as well. And accepting being angry and loving someone at the same time is not easy. It's really not easy. But if you take anything from this, then let me tell you this. You are allowed to have these feelings. You are allowed to have different emotions that don't mix well. You don't have to justify your emotions to other people. And if they don't understand, then, well, that's their problem. That's not a you problem. That's a them problem. And yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to get out there. I mean, I could still talk about so many things. I could talk about everything that's going on in my life. But I think it should be it for now. I know that not many people will still listen to this right now, but I appreciate the few people that are still around right now. And I want to say, the last thing I wanted to say is, in the moment when my girlfriend and I were still together, I knew that at one day, if it would come to this, that we will split up, that I will miss a lot of the small and tiny things, and even annoying things about her that I find a little annoying. And I knew it back then that it would be the case, but I still couldn't embrace it. And now I realize how many of the small things I miss. The small little rituals you have with someone you love. It doesn't even have to be a partner, it can be a friend as well. And I want to say to you that if you have somebody you love, or just a very good friend or family or whatnot, today you are going to tell them that you like this about them. If you have the chance today, hug them. If you have the chance today, tell them you love them. And I know it will feel weird to you. It will feel very weird to you to be so open about your emotions. But trust me when I tell you this, you will be grateful for yourself when this is gone at some point. Because it will be. The great egalitarian, if you want to call it like this, which is death, will get us all in the end. And I don't think it's something that we should be afraid of or be sad about. But what we have in control is not really our emotions, but we have control over how we deal with them. And we have the control over how we treat this life that we are given. And it is hard. It is hard to live. Living is not easy. And I think we should embrace all the tiny little moments that we have that are easy, that are great. And I guarantee you that the person today you're going to say that you love them or that you hug them, that they will appreciate it, and this is a thing that they will remember. I think that they will remember, maybe they are surprised about it, but do it for yourself and do it for them, because nothing is for granted, and we should always keep that in mind. And with that, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have an awesome day. You take care of yourself, and I see you next time. Pinky promise.